That's awesome. I'm ready for that.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum viewers. My name is Jabba Marketing Wali and I'm a level 1 student at Han School Islamabad campus. So as you know, I am coming I have a new topic and today my topic was about stealing, why stealing is wrong. So let's start. And Annie, my first question is for you that oh sorry, ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, my first question is for you that what does the word stealing mean?
No worries at all. So, stealing basically means taking someone else's property without permission, with the intent of keeping it or using it unlawfully. It's generally considered unethical and illegal because it violates the rights of others. Let me know if you'd like to dive deeper into that.
Okay, nice. So my next question is for you that, I need to dive in some more, like, give me some detailed answer because I don't know what is the meaning of stealing. So please give me some long answer.
Of course. So stealing refers to the act of taking something that doesn't belong to you without the owner's consent. This can include physical items like money or property, as well as intangible things like information or intellectual property. The reasons behind stealing can vary. Sometimes it's driven by necessity, like poverty, and other times it's motivated by greed or impulse. Legally and morally, stealing is generally condemned because it undermines trust, causes harm, and disrupts social harmony. If you'd like more details or examples, just let me know. No problem at all. Just let me know if you have any
Yeah,
other questions.
okay. So my next question for you that why do some people steal?
That's a great question. There are many reasons why some people might steal. For some, it could be out of necessity, like financial hardship or poverty, where they feel they have no other option. In other cases, it can be driven by psychological factors such as impulse control issues or a desire for thrill. Sometimes it can also be influenced by social factors like peer pressure, cultural norms, or even a lack of proper education or opportunities. It's definitely a complex issue with multiple layers. If you'd like to explore any specific angle, just let me know.
Okay, so my next question is for you that how do you feel when someone steals from you?
That's a really thoughtful question. Generally, when someone steals from you, it can bring up a mix of emotions. Often people feel hurt or betrayed because it breaks the trust they had in that person. There can also be feelings of anger, frustration, or even sadness, especially if the stolen item had sentimental value. Plus, there's often a sense of violation and insecurity as it can make you feel less safe or protected. It's definitely a complex emotional response.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question is for you that why stealing is bad?
That's a great follow up. Stealing is considered bad for several reasons. First, it violates the principle of respect for others' property and rights. Second, it undermines trust and social cohesion, making it harder for people to feel secure in their communities. Third, it can cause harm to individuals, whether that's financial loss, emotional distress, or even a sense of vulnerability. Lastly, stealing can lead to broader societal issues like increased crime rates and economic instability. Overall, it's about maintaining ethical standards and a sense of fairness in society.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question is for you that what happened when you steal something?
That's a great question. When you steal something, there can be several consequences. Legally, you might face criminal charges, which could lead to fines, community service, probation, or even jail time, depending on the severity of the theft. On a personal level, it can damage relationships and trust, making it harder to rebuild those connections. There's also the ethical and moral impact, where you might feel guilt or shame, which can affect your own sense of integrity. Additionally, stealing can have broader social impacts, like contributing to a culture of dishonesty, and diminishing overall trust within a community. It's definitely a multifaceted issue.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question is for you that how can stealing hurt others?
That's an important aspect to consider. When someone steals, it can hurt others in multiple ways. First, there's the immediate financial impact where the victim might lose money, property, or valuables, which can cause stress and hardship. Beyond the financial damage, there's also emotional harm. The victim might feel betrayed, vulnerable, or even fearful, especially if the theft happened in a place where they felt safe. Additionally, stealing can erode trust within relationships and communities, making people more suspicious or less willing to help one another. In the long run, it can even contribute to a cycle of distrust and insecurity that affects everyone. It's definitely something with far-reaching consequences.
Okay, so I'm sorry I mute my mic. So my question is that is stealing fair? Why not? Why or why not?
No worries at all. That's a really insightful question. Stealing is generally considered unfair because it disregards the rights and well-being of others. When someone steals, they're essentially taking something without permission, which can cause harm or loss to the owner. It's unfair because it violates the principle of respect and fairness, where everyone should have the right to their own property and security. Additionally, it can create a ripple effect, leading to mistrust and insecurity within the community. So in essence, stealing disrupts the balance of fairness and can cause harm to others.
Okay, nice. So my next question for you that what can happen if a person is caught stealing?
That's a really important question. If a person is caught stealing, there can be multiple outcomes. Legally, they might face criminal charges, which could result in fines, probation, community service, or even jail time, depending on how serious the theft is. On a social level, they might experience damage to their reputation and trust within their community, making relationships more difficult. There can also be personal consequences like guilt, shame, or a loss of self-esteem. Additionally, being caught stealing can lead to stricter consequences in the future, like a criminal record, which can impact job opportunities and other aspects of life. And overall, being caught stealing can have significant and lasting effects.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question is for you that how does stealing affect friendships?
That's a really thoughtful question. When someone steals from a friend, it can deeply damage the trust that's the foundation of that friendship. The person who's been stolen from might feel betrayed, hurt, and less willing to trust the person again. This can lead to feelings of resentment and a breakdown in communication. Over time, the friendship can become strained or even end altogether. Additionally, other mutual friends might also be affected, leading to a ripple effect that can impact the broader social circle. Ultimately, stealing can erode the sense of safety and mutual respect that friendships rely on.
Okay, nice. So my next question is for you that why do we learn in school that stealing is wrong?
That's a great question. We learn in school that stealing is wrong because it helps build a foundation of ethics and social responsibility from an early age. It teaches students about respect for others' property and the importance of trust in a community. By understanding why stealing is wrong, Students learn to develop empathy, integrity, and a sense of fairness, which are crucial for personal development and social harmony. Additionally, it helps create a safe and supportive learning environment where everyone feels respected and valued. Ultimately, these lessons lay the groundwork for responsible citizenship and ethical behavior in adulthood.
Okay, so my next question is for you that what should you do if you see someone stealing?
That's an important question as well. If you see someone stealing, the best approach is to prioritize safety and responsibility. First, try to assess the situation carefully and ensure that you're safe. If it's safe to do so, you can calmly approach the person and let them know what you observed. Another important step is to report the incident to the appropriate authorities, like a teacher, security personnel, or management, so that they can handle it properly. It's also important to approach the situation with empathy and understanding, keeping in mind that, there could be underlying reasons for the behavior. Ultimately, it's about balancing compassion with responsibility, and ensuring that everyone involved is treated fairly.
Okay, sorry. So my next question is for you that what would you say to someone who want to steal?
That's a really thoughtful question. If someone expresses an intention to steal, it's important to approach the conversation with empathy and understanding. You could start by listening to their reasons and concerns, and then gently help them understand the consequences of stealing, both for themselves and for others. You might also encourage them to consider alternative solutions like seeking help, finding support, or exploring other ways to address whatever challenges they're facing. Ultimately, the goal is to help them see the value of honesty and the long-term benefits of making ethical choices. It's about fostering a supportive environment and guiding them toward better decisions.
Okay, so my next question is for you that why do good people choose not to steal?
That's a wonderful question. Generally, good people choose not to steal because they value integrity, empathy, and respect for others. They understand that honesty builds trust and healthy relationships, and they want to contribute positively to their community. Additionally, good people often have a strong moral compass, guiding them to consider the impact of their actions on others. They also often prioritize long-term well-being and the importance of ethical behavior over short-term gain. Ultimately, it's about living with integrity, fostering trust, and maintaining a positive impact on the world around them. Of course, when we look at why good people choose not to steal, it often comes down to a combination of values and principles. For one, they have a deep sense of empathy, meaning they can put themselves in someone else's shoes and understand the hurt or harm that stealing can cause. They also often have a strong ethical framework shaped by their upbringing, education, and personal beliefs, which emphasize honesty and integrity as core virtues. Moreover, good people often consider the long-term consequences of their actions. They understand that while stealing might offer a quick gain, it can lead to long-term damage to relationships, trust, and one's own sense of self-respect. They also recognize that ethical behavior fosters a more trustworthy and supportive community, which benefits everyone in the long run. In addition, choosing not to steal often reflects a commitment to personal growth and accountability. Good people strive to be role models and set positive examples for others, especially younger generations. By upholding ethical standards, they contribute to a culture of trust, respect, and mutual support. Ultimately, it's about making choices that align with one's values and contribute to the greater good. Absolutely. Of course, delving deeper, the decision not to steal often reflects a person's internal moral compass shaped by a combination of upbringing, personal experiences, and societal values. For many, the choice to act ethically is deeply connected to empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. This empathy drives individuals to consider the impact of their actions on other people, fostering a sense of compassion and kindness. Furthermore, choosing not to steal is also about integrity, the consistency of actions, values, methods, and principles. Good people understand that integrity is fundamental to building trust and credibility, not just with others, but also with themselves. By maintaining honesty, they cultivate self-respect and a sense of inner peace. In addition, good people often take into account the broader societal impact. By choosing ethical behavior, they contribute to a culture of trust and mutual respect, which benefits everyone. This in turn creates a more supportive and harmonious community where people feel safe and valued. Ultimately, the choice not to steal is also about leading by example. Good people inspire others through their actions, teaching the value of ethics and integrity. This ripple effect helps cultivate a culture where honesty and respect are valued and upheld, making the world a better place for everyone.